There was a secret experiment in Korea. They injected strange liquid into the man's body from behind his neck to awaken his superpowers and immortality genes. He became invulnerable, resisting all kinds of attacks. Even the army with heavy weapons couldn't hurt him at all. The powerful aura of this man knocked out all these soldiers. His energy strengthened, blowing them all out. This is a 2021 South Korean sci-fi action film, SeoBok. The boy's name was SeoBok. He was the result of an experiment in this institute. An unexpected experiment gave him immortal genes and superpowers. The sister-in-law of the director of the institute was killed. The National Press Bureau wanted to transfer SeoBok to another safe base. For this mission, they found the retired agent Ji Hyun to protect SeoBok. However, Ji Hyun at this time had cancer. The scientist at the institute told him to just extract SeoBok's gene, he could cure his cancer. To maintain his life, Ji Hyun agreed. But when SeoBok was transferred, a group of heavily armed mercenaries started attacking them. 2 scientists tried to escape. They were shot on the spot. Ji Hyun raised his gun on alert. A smoke bomb was thrown from outside. He was directly dazed. When Ji Hyun woke up, a bald man came in. He was going to extract SeoBok's immortality gene. Just as he touched SeoBok, he was shocked out. SeoBok had used his superpowers on him. His subordinates outside gathered up. When an anomaly was detected, Ji Hyun took SeoBok to the truck and drove away. Breaking through the wall, they accelerated. Finally, they escaped from the pursuit. When they came to a small town, the truck broke down. Ji Hyun called the State Press Bureau. The person in charge told him the address of a safe house and told him to wait there for help. SeoBok, who came into contact with the outside world for the first time, was curious about everything. To not look too distinctive, Ji Hyun bought some normal clothes for him. The boy had never eaten noodles. After the first bite, he ate it clean like never before. There was no broth left. To Ji Hyun's surprise, SeoBok ate 30 bowls in a row. Just then, the support of the National Press Bureau arrived. But once they met SeoBok, they aimed their guns at SeoBok. Ji Hyun stood directly in front of him. SeoBok was his hope to live. He couldn't let him be killed. But when the agents shot at him, Ji Hyun realized that the bullets couldn't hit them. SeoBok used superpowers. When the guns all ran out of bullets, Ji Hyun went straight forward, knocking down her agent in an instant. He fought against an agent down the corridor. While the agent was not paying attention, he got dragged down by Ji Hyun and knocked out unconsciously. Suddenly, his phone rang. Ji Hyun unlocked his cell phone. It was a call from the head of the bureau. Ji Hyun questioned him why he tried to kill SeoBok. However, the chief didn't explain, just repeating the order at once to get rid of SeoBok. But Ji Hyun didn't listen at all. He just hung up because he needed SeoBok's immortal gene to cure his cancer. Just as they were about to leave, Ji Hyun got another call from the institute. The boss of the institute didn't want SeoBok to be killed. He wanted to crack the immortality gene, so he could live forever. The reason why the National Press Bureau wanted to get rid of SeoBok was that they were afraid mankind would lose balance. Ji Hyun was ready to take SeoBok back to the institute. SeoBok said he wanted to go to a place first, Waishan. What are you doing there? You don't have to know. On the way, SeoBok suddenly vomited blood. It turned out that he had to take an injection of inhibitor every day. If not, he would die. This was also a defect in the immortality gene. When they came to the destination, the room contained the dead's ashes. SeoBok found a picture of himself when he was a child. It turned out that SeoBok had passed away 10 years ago. The one standing here was just a clone of him. Looking at himself, SeoBok cried frantically. How he wished he was a real human and had a family. The bureau started to set out. They were all excellent agents. To get rid of SeoBok, they sent the best special forces. Countless police cars started rounding him up. They even set up traps on the road. The National Press Bureau had waited for them for a long time. At the critical moment, the general was ruthless, ordering to fire them directly. A group of mercenaries appeared to save them. When they woke up, they were at the institute. These mercenaries were set up by the boss of the institute. It turned out that he was terminally ill. He wanted to take SeoBok's gene to cure himself. At the institute, Shae-yoon, who had been taking care of SeoBok since the beginning, turned out to be SeoBok's mother. SeoBok passed away when he was too young, so she used her son's gene to give him another life. She didn't expect him to go through endless research. SeoBok was in pain. Shae-yoon wanted to save him, so she came to the boss of the institute with a gun. She hadn't shot him yet, she was shot by his guard. Facing his mother's death, SeoBok collapsed. He lost his only relative. He also lost his spiritual sustenance. SeoBok began to go wild, releasing all his super ability, killing the scientist. The mercenaries started shooting wildly, but they couldn't hurt him at all. SeoBok squashed the object next to him, controlling it and hitting the mercenaries all at once. At that time, the boss of the institute was pressed into a lump. When SeoBok walked out of the institute, the outside had been surrounded by the National Press Bureau. SeoBok was not afraid at all. He walked past them. The water under his feet were all separated. At that time, everyone fired at him, but they couldn't hurt SeoBok at all. He unleashed his powers, pressuring his power, and swept them on the ground in an instant. SeoBok increased his power. Dust blew up, taking down the army in front of him. Due to overload himself, SeoBok began to vomit blood. Just then, the chief of the National Press Bureau came on a tank. He kept attacking SeoBok. It seemed like SeoBok had reached his limit. At the critical moment, Ji-Hyun appeared and blocked the car in front of SeoBok. The chief fired wildly until the car was blown up. At this time, Ji-Hyun was also injured. He told SeoBok to leave him alone and run away, but SeoBok didn't obey. He had no relatives. He had no place to go. He pulled out the superpower suppressor. Against the frantic attack, he kept moving forward. When his superpower reached its limit, he destroyed them all. The superpower being used too much. It also broke SeoBok's body. When Ji-Hyun found him, SeoBok had gone. If human beings can really live forever, the population will increase indefinitely in the future. Will it lead mankind to extinction? I'm Harry. I'll see you next time.